Hey everyone, quick little progress update on my Octan Factory. I've gotten the walls up a little bit higher around part of it around the outside and moved on to the second color for now, and I also did a little bit of work on the interior. So this is the furnace. It's kind of showing you the general size that the furnace will be in cross section. Anything that you see here in this video, like with any in progress update video, that looks like it's not done is not done, because it's not done. The whole thing is not done. Everything is a work in progress, and every single thing that you see is liable to change completely. So don't worry about any of the specifics here. It's a way that I've chosen to go about building to get through things a little bit more quickly than planning everything in advance and doing every small detail complete, one whole sub-assembly at a time. And I've been not very productive on the Lego side this past week. It's been a little bit of a rough week for me. Got other stuff going on, but I've made as much progress as I can. This is the little kind of window, intentionally unrealistic window into the interior. Just a little bit of flame kind of going in there, and this will all fit back in there. This will actually be up a little bit higher. This is going to continue on through multiple floors, and I need to add in a lot of piping around the area, but starting to get a better idea of the general size. I think actually since the first update that you saw, everything has changed here. Every single thing. The walls have actually been moved in. I did that to give myself a little bit more room to add other different types of details if I want to add other things on the outside. I've arbitrarily put little steps in the wall on the front just to add a little extra visual interest to it, just because, it's going to be a factory. It shouldn't be too pretty. It shouldn't be too ornate, I think. But at the same time, I don't want it to look just too boring. I've already done enough buildings that are, in my opinion, too plain. And so I'm kind of fighting that. I'm always fighting that just within my own desires for how I like to see things. I like things to be clean, but then at the same time, I don't want them to look so boring. So adding some small details around, putting on more windows than is even appropriate really for a factory. There's a lot of little things I want to try to force myself to add in to make it not look too plain and just simple. Hopefully some of the overall shape of it as I get beyond the second floor will help with that, and will give it a lot more personality as well. The two vehicle bays are here. They're still mostly in the same places where I had originally intended for them to be. I also have a pass-through to allow access for vehicles to get straight through to the rear of the factory where the trains are able to pull up. And also there will probably be some more equipment back there. As a matter of fact, there's definitely going to be some more equipment that'll extend beyond this base plate, because remember from the first video where this is going to be, the train comes up back here. There's also a little bit of gap in between there. So that's all going to need to get hooked up together. And some of that will be done, I think actually most of that will be done in conjunction with the second floor. That's where a lot of that will start to come together. Right now, just focusing on getting the walls up and blocking out the general areas. Haven't done really anything with the corporate section of it, the front office area over here, and just figuring out. I did again move all of the walls in and everything, but kind of figuring out where everything needs to be overall. So you need access to the second floor. It's going to have to happen over here. Kind of defined the separate building that represents something that was probably attached to the original building, or vice versa. It wasn't all done at the same time. This will be a freight elevator section right here, so this will have a grating that'll be able to move up and down. Hopefully there'll be something that can actually be worked, and I will have the stairs, which I think are actually going to work out to the height that I wanted this floor to be. I think that just using the Lego stairs, the preformed stairs, is actually going to work out for me. And this may actually be a good place to put a window over here. I might put a window there, and then maybe another one over here. On that, I don't want to put one. Yeah, I don't know. Still thinking about some of the smaller specifics like that. But I like this idea of having the small pedestrian door right next to a roll-up door. I think that works out really well for me. A little funky little use of the stud shooter, the handheld stud shooter type of thing, to make a different type of lamp sort of fixture for that. And yeah, I just need to do a lot. You know, a lot more work is involved in this. Man, if only I had instructions and I could just assemble it, it would go so quickly. But I haven't put in all that much time. I've definitely put in less time than I would like to since the last update. But you know, it has changed enough that hopefully this will show you something new and give you a little bit better feel for where I'm going with it. I know a lot of folks thought that I was going to go all green for the entire building. Definitely, absolutely never was the plan. It's an Octan factory. It's going to have the Octan colors, you know, going with the green, red, and then the white. And not sure if I'm going to continue the white all the way up to the top or if I'm going to change it to something else and make it look like the white was actually an added on color, just like the red and the green were. I'm okay with leaving the color from the outside on the inside, you know, not going double deep, because if you do walls that are double thick in order to get a different color for the interior, it uses up at least twice as many pieces, and it also takes away a lot of space from the interior. This is going to get crowded on the inside, as all of my designs, my buildings, my structures always do by design. It's just part of my style. I like to fill up interior space as much as possible, make as much use of interior space as possible to really get the fine details in there and to, you know, just really pack stuff in as best I can. You know, this to scale with a minifigure like Snowbaka over there, who likes the place because it has his colors, is a really small factory, but it's supposed to represent something that's much larger. And even at that, it's taken up 3 base plates, which for a Lego building is actually kind of big, you know, just relative to like official Lego sets and stuff. So a lot of stuff, you know, has to get compromised, but I'm happy with the overall size. I'm happy with the overall direction so far. I just need to put more time into it. And as always, when you know, some actual proper work gets done enough to show you something, I will show you something. So hope that this was a good little small interim update and keeps you apprised of what I've been doing. So thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you again soon.